Alright, I wanted to give a quick demo of what I've been working on, which is a Fire Emblem game that creates itself as you play. The battle objectives that you complete, the characters who die, and your decisions in the dialogue will go into the creation of each next chapter. It's important to mention this project is far from being complete. I'm planning on adding a lot more to it, but I wanted to give you a sneak peek of the direction of the development. So here we are in a very simple UI, and let's start by creating the game. So here we have a handful of ideas of worlds that we could dive into. In the future, maybe you could use top ideas created by the community or write in your own. The first one, Revenant Oath, it's like a dark fantasy. We've got undead legions. The second one is Grand Tourney. Once a year, the kingdom hosts a grand festival with duels, wits, and whispers decide the fates of nobles and commoners alike. This one's whimsical. It's kind of a comedy. I'm going to go with that one. So right now, the AI is creating a world for this game based on the idea I selected, and it's using that to create characters, script events, and strategize the battle of the Prologue chapter. The system uses Lex Talionis, which is a Fire Emblem game engine written in Python. It's basically creating the game files for this engine to run. This will take about a minute, so we can go ahead and skip ahead. Alright, this is our AI generated game. So in the future, this could be custom art created for the game, but for now it's just the Lex Talionis demo cover. And if you notice the music playing, the AI chose this song as the main theme for the game. So every song choice is made by the AI to fit the scene or battle in which it appears. And the music quality is a little messed up, like it's a little crackly and fried. You'll notice that more in the transitions. That's only because I'm running Lex Talionis on my Mac. On Windows, it should be completely fine. So let's see the prologue that it created. So we'll start a new game. That text is pretty long, but the AI named this chapter A Mysterious Disappearance. So as it was creating this introductory scene, it decided on the song choice and the backdrop that fits best. So, we're in a grand tournament with a king, so they chose a village background. And here we've got a narrator giving us a background on this world. I'll just skip through it. But it kind of sets up what's going on in the story. And here are our characters. The AI chose a backstory, a personality, and a portrait for every character. The AI is not generating a new image here. It's just choosing from a large list of free-to-use portrait options. So we've got this person saying, "Did you hear that? They lost the magical trinket. This tournament is going to be a disaster without it." And so we've kind of got our intro scene leading up to the first battle here. I'm going to skip through this. And here we are in the prologue battle. The AI decided which map to choose based on what's happening in the story, and it placed all of the units on the map. So the unit placement strategy needs a little bit of work. It's barely passable right now, but I plan on improving it a lot. So let's go ahead and take a look at our characters. So the items that it start with were all chosen by the AI. It created a description. Finn is a charming merchant with a flair for the dramatic, and Leora is a clever knight who values strategy and humor. Nice, she got started with a red gem. Let's take a look at the enemies. Each enemy, also has items chosen for it. Each level will have a unique like generic enemy group with its own description. So here they're a tricksy fae causing playful chaos in the market. And that kind of fits, you know, it shows a map that has this market, and most of them are down here at the market, and we're kind of gonna descend upon them. Let's look at the boss. Okay, we've got a couple droppable items. Nice. Tilly is a fae trickster that loves to create chaos and laughter. She's a thief. So we can, you know, go in and attack someone and play through this chapter. I'm actually going to skip it, but before I do that, I want to mention some of the character placement. So obviously this is not right. This is a healer. It looks like it's put on top of a knight. But this knight, because he's right next to a chest, he has a droppable chest key with him. Same with these, I think, have door keys. They're inside the doors, which is maybe not ideal from a strategy standpoint. So again, these are kind of the bugs that I hope to iron out with the unit placement. But let's go ahead and skip this this battle. So within the Lex Talionis game engine, I can just open the debug menu and say win game. And by the way, the AI also chooses like a battle objective. So it could be defeat boss, rout enemy, escape, defend for a certain amount of turns. In that one, it chose defeat boss. So now we're in the closing scene of the chapter after the battle. So the decision in the story was that the boss would not die when she was defeated. So she does appear here in the scene. Let's get to her. Yep, she's got a talking role. And this is kind of the falling action after the battle. And eventually it's going to give you a choice. So at the end of every chapter, you're going to have a choice between different options based on the storyline. And that's going to influence how the next chapter is generated. I haven't built that in yet, but it's coming soon. I'm just going to skip this outro scene. Alright, so now we've got our kind of stub chapter at the end that just tells you, hey, this chapter has not been created. Go generate it and restart the game. And so because the AI uses what the player did in the previous chapter, it only creates one chapter at a time. So I will go create the next chapter. Alright, so we're here in the FE Infinity web UI, and we're in the detail page for our game. So this is the Grand Tourney. It's got our description here as well. Clicking play game will launch the game engine, and we're going to generate the next chapter. So here it's going to be looking at the character, or the potential character deaths, the objectives that you could complete or not complete in the chapter, and that one decision that you make at the very end of the chapter. It's going to use all of that to come up with the next chapter in the story, the new characters, and choose all of the songs and the backgrounds and everything like that. So this will take about a minute, so let's skip forward to it being done. Alright, let's see what it did for chapter 1. So it swapped the stub chapter with the new chapter that it created, and it named that chapter The Trickster's Challenge. And every chapter is going to open with like this intro scene. We've got our narrator talking. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the narrator. It might feel like a little bit too much exposition, but I'll make a call on that later. And looks like we've got a new character there on the left, and same kind of intro scene setting up the battle for this chapter. I'm going to skip it. And here we've got our new map that the AI chose for the chapter, more enemies, a different boss. So that is what I've got so far. Let me skip through the battle, and we've got our characters talking to each other. And that's what I've got so far. So it'll generate as many chapters as you want, even as many as the full games of 25 to 30 chapters. I haven't tested much past that, but I do think it could go for a lot longer. In terms of future development, I'm going to be working on in-battle events such as character recruitment, enemy reinforcements, and items in chests. I'm going to improve the unit placement on the map, and I'm going to make it able to run cross-platform. So I'm on a Mac. I know that most Fire Emblem community members are on Windows, so this will work for everything. And finally, it'll be free and open source, free with an asterisk. I will not charge anything for people to play this, but the AI does cost money, so you'll need to put in an OpenAI API key, and they will bill you for the usage. But it's super cheap. I've tested it a few times, and you can generate entire games for less than 10 cents. And once I optimize things, I might even get it to be as low as a couple of pennies for a whole game. And the code will be fully open source, so the community can edit or copy parts of it. All right, well, thanks for staying to the end, and I will see you in the next one.